Mikel Arteta is done taking notes. This time, second place simply won't cut it. It's time to win, and that's why this time he's assembled the most complete team in the Premier League. Victor Gyokeres, Noni Madueke, Martin Zubimendi. Add this to the players in the squad and the idea is clear. Mikel Arteta isn't just signing players, he's getting the final missing pieces to a plan that's been in the works for years. This is the final season of the Netflix series. This is the football Armageddon, and this is how Mikel Arteta completed his 2026 Arsenal team. Last season was another lesson for Arsenal, a third successive second-place finish. This time they lost out on the league to Liverpool, and Arteta knew what the deal was. The plan had to be complete now, and so this summer, he's gone out and gotten a machine from Portugal. Victor Gyokeres, goal-scoring beast, 63 goals and 17 assists in 57 games last season. That's 80 goal contributions last season. Ridiculous. I mean, he had more goal contributions than Rasmus Højlund played games. So, what does Gyokeres bring to this Arsenal team? The obvious answer is the goals. Then you take a deep dive and it's even crazier. Victor Gyokeres is much more than just a traditional number 9 or a goal scorer. He's an all-rounder. Arsenal's front line of Kai Havertz, Leandro Trossard, and Gabrieljesus had a combined 20 league goals last season. Gyokeres had 53 in the Portuguese league. Ever since Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang left, Mikel Arteta's Arsenal team has always needed a goal scorer, a pure central attacking threat. The numbers don't lie either. Arsenal had their worst win percentage under Mikel Arteta in the last 4 seasons, which is crazy when you realize that Arsenal's attack, despite it being makeshift, still outperformed the XG of their opposition by nearly double, but those good numbers fail to translate into results. You can easily term this as control with a missing piece, no cutting edge. Yes, they had the best defense in the league with just 34 goals conceded, but 69 goals, the total tally from last season, for a team fighting to win the league, it simply isn't enough. Gyokeres changes that. He's a different profile to what the Gunners have in attack. As good and technical as gabrieljesus and Kai Havertz are, they simply do not occupy the box enough. Havertz in particular was guilty of missing big chances last season. Gyokeres, on the other hand, is a goal scorer as we can see by the numbers. He also had the ability to find spaces in the box, and his finishing is elite. I mean, get this, over 50% of his shots from last season were on target. We're talking about Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland finishing level category. His profile addressed Arteta's biggest problem from last season too, playing against teams with the low block. This is where Gyokeres shows how complete he is. I mean, this goal here, the movement to escape the defender on him and still find his teammate in space for the goal. He's very good at pulling defenders out of shape and generating movement to unlock defenses. He ranks in the 99th percentile amongst elite center forwards for progressive carries with 4.27 per 90, 3.11 for carries into the penalty area, ranks in the same percentile. But these aren't just stats, they are indicators of something. Gyokeres drives attacks and at the same time can start them on his own via half turns. He penetrates boxes and pulls defenders out. Think of Gyokeres on the end of chances from players like Bukayo Saka or Martin Odegaard or the other new guy in attack. Getting him over the line was controversial. Noni Madueke, £48.5 million from Chelsea. Arteta's go-to destination in recent windows, but as cliché as this might sound, Noni Madueke is different. He brings something unique to this Arsenal attack. Madueke ranks high amongst the Premier League's most two-footed players when it comes to taking shots. Only Antoine Semenyo, with 53.8% left-footed shots and 46.2% right-footed shots, was closer to a 50-50 split than Madueke's 65.8% left-footed shots and 34.2% right-footed shots. But again, these aren't just stats, they tell a story. This was the situation when the Madueke to Arsenal rumors became concrete. A lot of people believed he was coming to the club to be Saka's backup. He'd have to play second fiddle in attack. But from the stats we've shown above, his ability to go on either foot and get shots off or drive into defenses means he can play on either flank. It's not just getting shots off too, it's how he gets them off. Madueke ranked joint first for progressive carries, ending in a shot with 1.6 per 90, meaning he's very good at running with the ball, cutting inside, and getting shots off. This translates to him being a consistent goal threat too. Ranking players with at least 1,500 minutes played, only 4 players managed more than his 3.5 per 90. I could drop more stats, but with Madueke, Arteta has seen something. He's a player who is capable of playing on either flank, and as we saw last season, as good as Bukayo Saka is, that 4-month layoff he had after injuring his hamstring derailed the team's title plans. they struggled to replace him. With a madueke in the team, he can slot in that position perfectly, can play on the left and become a more traditional winger. At 23, he's different from the usual Chelsea to Arsenal signings in recent years. He's young and will improve. Two new signings in key positions in attack. They've strengthened in midfield, a signing that seems to be going under the radar, but anyone who has watched Martin Zubimendi play knows he is very underrated. It's easy to assume Arsenal doesn't need any more midfielders, given the players they have in the position. But Zubimendi is different. He isn't just a holding midfielder, he's one of the best in the world. In the 2024-25 season, Zubimendi sent a higher percentage of passes forward than any of the Arsenal players in the position. That's more passes forward than Declanrice, Thomas Partey, or Jorginho, who's gone now. In La Liga, only Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, Rodrigo de Paul, and Federico Valverde made more progressive passes than Zubimendi. He's the kind of player Arsenal has lacked. It's this and how he can become that tempo-controlling midfield at the club, know when to speed the play and how to speed the play all kinds of passes and receive on the back foot with just one or two touches. It's the same Zubimendi that Premier League champions Liverpool were heavily linked to last season. They even sent bids for him, but the player himself rejected. He's in the Premier League this time with Arsenal and completes midfield. He adds tempo to the legs of Declan Rice and Christian Norgard. That's 3 out of 4 outfield signings made by Mikel Arteta this season. The last one is adding depth to a stacked position. Another defender, Christian Mosquera, joins William Saliba, Gabriel, Ricardo Calafiori, and Jakub Kiwior as the latest addition to Arsenal's backline, except in his case, it's clear this is a signing for both now and the future. In Mikel Arteta's words, he adds depth to the position. Last season, after injuries to Gabriel and Saliba on different occasions, the replacements in the position struggled. At 21, Christian Mosquera is full of potential. To start with, he's a tank. Since he was drafted into the Valencia team in 2023, he started 70 league games out of a possible 72. Factor in the injury problems Arsenal had in the position last season, and already Mosquera could be a long-term option in coming years. His total of 6,394 minutes across the last 2 seasons is the highest by anyone aged 21 and under in Europe's top 5 leagues. That's even more game time than players like Lamine Yamal and Milos Kerkez. Mosquera isn't just playing for the sake of it either. He's not just playing because Valencia lacks options in the position. When it comes down to it, he's rock solid. He achieved a 72% true tackle rate in La Liga last season. For defenders in the league with over 900 minutes, he ranks 5th in this category. His recovery pace is solid too. In fact, he averages 5.3 recoveries per 90, 3rd in La Liga for defenders with over 900 minutes. On the ball, he's improved from his debut season at the club. It's fewer mistakes and a better passing completion rate. He had a passing accuracy of 91.2% last season. Mosquera is a tank. At 6'2" and just 21 years old, he's raw talent. He will only get better. He's part of Arteta's plan to strengthen defense, the same way Arteta's gone to Chelsea and gotten a winner as a backup. Kepa has joined the club from Arsenal. After a loan spell at Bournemouth last season, it's a permanent move from Chelsea to Arsenal for £5 million, an almost £66 million difference from the fee Chelsea paid to Bilbao in 2018 to make Kepa the most expensive goalkeeper in the world. Kepa arrives at Arsenal as both a Champions League and Europa League winner. He's won the Europa League twice, as well as winning the UEFA Super Cup and the FA Cup. At 30, he's resigned to that backup role at the club behind David Raya, but he adds plenty of experience too. 13 caps for the Spanish national team, depth to the goalkeeping position, then all of it hits you. These aren't just random signings. Mikel Arteta has strengthened every area of the pitch. In attack, he's got Victor Gyokeres as his new number 9, Noni Madueke down the wings with the option of playing on either side. Martin Zubimendi is in midfield as the tempo-controlling midfielder, Christian Mosquera with crazy potential in defense, Kepa the backup to David Raya in goal. Arteta's adding this to what he's got in the team, Bukayo Saka. He's been Arsenal's creative threat down the wings for years. He still is, but this new team, it's built to bring the best out of him. See guys, Saka has never been the type of winger with flashy skills or the type to grab the headlines with dribbles. He's very direct. It's the reason why Arsenal missed him that much after his injury layoff last season. He had 26 goal contributions in 37 games despite missing over 3 months with a hamstring injury. He's been a very consistent performer for years. When he's fit, at least from what we saw last season, almost half of Arsenal's attacking combinations came from his flank. Statistically, Saka leads all Premier League wingers in many metrics, especially when it comes to chance conversion. He's so far alone that it's possible to miss it. The truth is, many teams understand that Saka is the main threat in Arsenal's attack. According to Opta last season, it shows that Saka received 38% of his receptions under a double team. Breaking this down in base terms, it means Saka creates elite quality chances for his teammates, despite having two defenders on him in at least 4 out of 10 receptions, and most times those cutbacks come to nothing because the options in central positions, Kai Havertz and Jesus, aren't in the box. The team Arteta has created with gyokeres based on the numbers we talked about earlier means Saka now has an attacker who will be in those positions when he creates chances. Imagine the numbers he's been pulling off like this. Think of how they could almost double with an elite finisher like Gyokeres in the team. It's the same for the club captain as well. After Saka's injury last season, the creative load fell on the shoulders of Martin Odegaard, and honestly, most times he looked like he was tired of carrying the team. But this 2025/26 season could be the one where we finally get to see the best of Odegaard. He'll finally become a number 8 in the sense. Saka's back. They've got Gyokeres now. That's the combination that will be expected to bag the goals. Martin Zubimendi is in the picture. It means Odegaard won't have the triple job of creating goals, scoring goals, and controlling the tempo as he tried to in midfield last season. This doesn't need stats to understand. A Zubimendi and Declanrice combination at the base with Odegaard slightly forward means he has solid options behind him in midfield. Odegaard gets the ball and focuses more on progressive passes and chance creation. The team is taking shape, different angles for Arteta to exploit. In attack, he can decide to use Gyokeres up top alone in the 4-3-3 system, or tweak it and play him alongside Kai Havertz, which could become an even more dangerous combination. Havertz has always been at his best, playing in that second striker role behind the main man. That's how he broke out at Leverkusen all those years back, playing alongside a big target like Gyokeres and making runs into the spaces and channels while Gyokeres occupies center backs becomes a possibility. It's the same thing if he uses gabrieljesus, a more technical player with a similar profile to Havertz. Can't forget the kids as well. Ever since he burst onto the scene for Arsenal this season, lewisskelly hasn't looked back. From standing up to Erling Haaland, to trolling him with his celebration, scoring for England on his debut. Solid performances against Real Madrid over 2 legs, lewisskelly has made that left-back spot his own. When he inverts, he opens up different channels to attack. It's about controlling the space and the passes for Arteta. Lewisskelly could have an even bigger season coming up, the same way Ethan Nwaneri's ceiling at the club has gotten higher since last season. He only really scored bangers. When Saka didn't play, Arsenal missed. The only reason it wasn't as bad as it was because Ethan Nwaneri proved to be a revelation, almost deputizing for him. He's still only 18, and if you think they were done producing young talent, Hale N's done it again. At 15 years old, maxdowman is scary. He had Joelinton on the ropes, played against that Newcastle team like he was in his backyard with his bros. That's the kind of team Mikel Arteta has produced now, a complete one with depth in every position. The aim now is to win the Premier League. Second place won't cut it again. Can imagine the reaction to Arsenal winning the league and coming on tour to the United States. And speaking of the States, in America, a football revolution is coming. America is changing the game. It's crazy how no one seems to realize it yet. Click the next video to find out how America is changing football.